Daniel Jones, who some being Greg Jennings, great wide receiver, former wide receiver, who some say is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Reports say, Rob, he wants $45 million per year. And if that shocks you, how about this, Rob? The New York Post is reporting that the Giants are offering somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 years, $190 million. I'm shocked at that. I mean, you can ask for what you want. Ask for $50 million if you want. But the fact that the Giants are offering Daniel Jones, who threw 15 touchdowns in 16 games last year, 5 years, $190 million? I'm stunned. I'm floored. I'm knocked out. What? I think Daniel Jones showed us a little something last year. A little something. He went from being a guy you definitely didn't think was your franchise quarterback to a guy that you might think is your franchise quarterback. All right, but he didn't show me enough to lock him up for the next 5 years at basically $40 million a year.
Right.
I franchise him, period. If I am giving him $40 million or something like that, it might be for 2 years. No more. I got to see more. So I'm franchising him, Rob Parker. I'm shocked that they're willing to just already give him the 5-year, $190 million deal, if that reporting is accurate.
And I'm shocked that Daniel Jones being presented that when they had no interest in him just a year ago, Chris, that Daniel Jones in that room with the contract sitting on the table and no pen around didn't grab something to cut his finger open and sign in blood before they pull the contract back. What?
He thinks he's got leverage. And, Rob, you listen to some people on TV, and they're saying, well, if they don't sign him, somebody's going to give him $40 million.
Go ahead. I would go and get Derek Carr tomorrow over Daniel Jones, Chris. Tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Not even think about it. Not even hesitate. And Daniel Jones.
You might be able to get Derek Carr for that money.
Right.
Right? I don't think he's going to get much more than that if he gets more. I agree with you on that. I'm stunned, Rob, that there and again, the numbers per year, if you're talking about 2 years, we still want to see what he's made of. We want to open up the offense a little bit, see if this year was kind of a fluke. All right, okay, good. But 5 years, you're ready to lock him in. It's not 5 years, $100 million, 5 years, $130 million. It's 5 years, $138 or $190 million. I don't get it. And let me ask you this, Rob. They are prioritizing Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. You agree?
I think they're ridiculous. To me, what made that team work, Chris, was Saquon. That's what made the offense work. And I know you got running backs, and people don't want to pay running backs. They'll come a dime a dozen. But I'm telling you, you take him out of the mix, and you'll see how ineffective Daniel Jones will be. I just think you better be careful with that because it only works. You just talked about it. 15 touchdowns in 17 games. Chris, that ain't a guy who's throwing the ball around the yard. That's the people who are running the ball around the yard and scoring on touchdowns because you got run up to the 2 and 3 and 5 yard line. I'm just saying, I would be very careful. Like, he doesn't work without an effective running back.
I hear you, and I do think Saquon Barkley is a better running back than Daniel Jones is a quarterback. But I do think it's the smart thing to do to prioritize Jones. Mainly, if I got to put the franchise tag on one of them, I'm putting it on Jones. And then I'll negotiate with Saquon. And I say that because, not just because he is a running back. That's part of it because, Rob, running backs don't have the value they used to. I do think I can find not a guy as good as Saquon, but I think I can find somebody who's a good running back. If I got a line, and I know they might not have the best offensive line, but I think they'll keep getting better. If I have a line, I think I can get a good running back for a lot cheaper than the money Saquon wants. The other thing is that Saquon's been injured. I mean, he's only played 16 games his rookie year and this year. Obviously he had to, he's played 13 games 2 of the years though, so that's okay. But still, I'm going to need him for 16, 17 games. So I think the injury's an issue. And then, Rob, I also think last year he only ran for over 100 yards 4 times. And none of them in the last 9 games if you include the playoffs. Now, he had some good games where he had 80 yards here or there. But I think that it wasn't like he was Derrick Henry. It wasn't that type of situation where he's the workhorse. And so I do think it's right to prioritize Daniel Jones. But that money, I think, is crazy. I'm just not ready to lock him up for 5 years because I'm not sure yet. And I'm shocked that they are already. All right, we're going to throw it out to you guys. 877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Do you think it's wise of the New York Giants, or any team for that matter, to give Daniel Jones a 5-year contract already? 5 years, $190 million to be specific, according to reports. Your turn to weigh in with Chris and Rob. The odd couple on Fox. Is Daniel Jones worth a 5-year, nearly $40 million a year contract? We don't think so. What say you?
All right, Chris, let's kick it off with Jax in KC. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Jax?
What's going on, fellas? Mr. Parker, thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
What's up, man?
My good brother, Chris Broussard, you slid into town, didn't even know you was coming, man. Did you get a chance to get some dates?
Did we go to we went to Slaps. You ever heard of Slaps for barbecue?
Yeah, I know.
We were in a hurry, but it was on the way to the airport. I think it was actually in Kansas.
Yeah, it's in Kansas.
It was good.
It's right across the bridge.
Yeah,
it's cool. I can't say nothing bad about Slaps. But, our good frat brother, Ollie Gates, and George and the whole family, would have took care of you.
I think we tried Gates, but it was sold out. We wouldn't have made it. We were in a hurry. Yeah.
I understand. Hey, you know what? The bad thing is that $40 million a year is just about the going rate. These quarterbacks now, bro. That's just what it is. So to me, like you said, if they don't sign them, it's probably a team that's going to give them that money. Like, I'm cool with that. It wouldn't be me if I was one of these teams, but I mean, it's getting pretty close to that anyway. So you got to be able to. If I was them, I'd draft me a quarterback and just keep trying to look for another, somebody else that can actually play the position.
I just don't think I want to hitch my wagon to him for the next 5 years yet. I'm not sure. So I want to give him 2 years, franchise tag, something, so I can continue to evaluate him.
Yeah, that's it, because 15 touchdowns in 17 years didn't blow my socks off.
But you mentioned it earlier. When we talk about Saquon, that's who you got to franchise because – the life of the running back is going to be so much shorter. It doesn't make sense to give a running back his money.
That's true. I'm not trying to pay him too much. Yeah, I'm not trying to pay him too much either. So.
All right, brothers. I appreciate it.
All right, man.
Yep. Later. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go with Tim. Chili Tim in Atlanta. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Tim?
Chili Tim, what up?
Yeah, what up, Ron? What up, Nuke?
What up, Nuke?
What's going on?
2 Nukes calling so far. It's a Kappa jam up in here.
It's a Kappa Monday,
Kappa
Tuesday.
No, y'all need to be in the community doing some service and stop calling sports talk shows.
We were doing that all day.
All right, that's all I'm saying. All right.
You worry about the strip club. We'll take care of it.
Right, exactly. He got nerve, don't he?
Hey, Tim, I do work in there. I'm doing charity work. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story.
You do a ministry. Okay, I hear you.
Right.
That's right.
But I wouldn't give Daniel Jones because I don't trust. They beat up on a bunch of bad teams this year, and I can't really, put my trust in, what they did. I think all the teams in the East they had really good. They beat up on some bad teams. Even Philly. I mean, they played well, but the competition was not that great. So I would need to see Daniel Jones for another year. Maybe see how he fare better with some better teams, better competition, and let him show me something because I just can't trust that schedule, man. It was a weak schedule, and he barely did well.
Well, to your point, he had 3 games where he threw for 300 or more yards, and they were all against Minnesota twice and Detroit.
Minnesota had the worst defense. Yeah. That's right, and the other one was against the Lions, Chris, the second worst or third worst.
Exactly.
Yep.
Can't trust him.
Right,
no
man.
doubt. Thank you.
All
Jerome.
right,
Yep. Jerome in Charleston, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Romy?
What's up? Hey, no way, Jose. No way. 45 million. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. Hey, 45. Hey, is the Tisha the Mel family, are they on crack? Huh? As Dan Ball said, oh, yeah, I can make him a fan. No. Hey, something less? Yeah. 45 million? No. No way.
Yep. And if he's getting 45 million, then Patrick Mahomes should get 90 because he's twice as good.
What should Josh Allen get?
Well, you know what I mean, Chris? He should get 90 if you're giving 45 to Daniel Jones. I mean, come on.
And we get how it works. You know, we know when it's your turn, you're up. You usually set the market, but come on.
Right.
You know what a franchise quarterback is? You know what a franchise quarterback is? When your number one receiver lines up wrong in the biggest game of the year and you still make it work for a touchdown. That's Mahomes. That's a franchise quarterback. 3 games with a high ankle sprain. That's a franchise quarterback.
He's the best quarterback in the league. And we get everybody's not him, but come on, Daniel Jones, we're with you on that.
JR in Seattle, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, JR, on this Trash Talking Tuesday?
How you doing there, fellas? First thing I want to say, Rob, I heard you on the Dan Patrick show this morning with Doug Gottlieb, and I don't think Doug Gottlieb understands the issue at hand to even be having that conversation with anybody. But as far as the topic on hand,
it was tough because of, you got to acknowledge that there's a problem, and when you can't even acknowledge that, then that's got to be the starting point, right? That was my issue with him. That's the starting point, that there's a trouble. Right.
But as far as Daniel Jones goes, I think Nick Wright said best on Cal Hoop's show earlier. Franchise tag him, and we're not talking about the expensive franchise tag. Give him the little franchise tag where another team can come out and outbid New York for the rights on Daniel Jones. And if some other team does it, c'est la vie. No way, no how am I giving Daniel Jones off of one good year in his career $45 million a year for 5 years.
No doubt. And that's what it's been, Chris, one good year.
Look, he had a pretty good rookie year. I mean, he fumbled. His problem in the past was the fumbles. But his rookie year, he was pretty good. I think he threw for about 25 touchdowns. But then the next 2 years were bad. And then this year was pretty good. So I got to see more. I'm just not sold. Why in the world would you be sold? Look, to his credit, Rob, he's had 3 head coaches in his 4 years. So I get all that, and I'm willing to take that into consideration. But you got to show me more than 1 year. My goodness.